doing the Sifra D'tzniuta. And I want to read it because I think, if nothing else, it's a prayer, but it also is going to give us a background of where he's going if we look at it right. He starts on page Aleph and says, tikkunim dikna de zair anpin. So this is the first thing he wants to talk about, and he's going to talk about and list the 9 tikkunim. And I'm going to try to translate it, and go as fast as I can to try to get the ideas, and just to understand the format. He says that Tisha tikkunim yikirim is masrul the dikna. So there are 9 different tikkunim of the beard. Kol ma is tamar below isgalia. Everything that's hidden, not revealed. In law the yikira yishtakach. So exactly what is up above, and its preciousness or its glory is found. V'hu geniza ginze kra. So I'm not sure what that means. Yakira, but he says Yakira could be right. So it says hiddenness of this glory. So the second one is tikkun kadimah, the first tikkun, the dikna. Nimin al nimin are hairs on tops of hairs, or bundles of hairs on top of something. Mekay piska the udmin, all by the opening of the ear. Ad reisha the pum, and it goes down until the beginning of the mouth. The second one, the tinyana. Meresha high, behind the resha high. Achra ishtakach. So there's something between one side, like I think he means of the mouth, or the mustache, to the other side. Till he saw mitchos trim mukvim underneath the 2 nostrils. Archo mal yachadolo ischazia. It's a path that's full of hairs, and you can't see the path itself. Number 4 is al-aling the ischapchan nahai gisa the high kisa. And then it seems like it goes up, and it turns around, ischapyan, from one side to the next, not sure what that meant. Number 5 is Buhu is Chazin Tepuchim Sumakim Gavarda. So this is also now, here you see the cheeks that are red like a rose. Number 6, Bahad Chuto, there's a thread, Talin Ukomim, and it's black, to keep him a very strong Adchadri. To the chest. So there's apparently some thread which is black and doesn't sound nice, goes down all the way. Number 7 is Shaviyah. He says Sifra D'tzniuta. So these are the red lips. Kavarda, once again, like a rose, is panun. So I guess they have no hairs on them. Taminoa is zirin nachsim begurona. So there's small hairs, I guess, that go down onto the throat. And Machapian could be called one. They go around the neck. Number 9, Teshiyah is Ravabam Zairim. There are big ones, there are little ones. And he says they're nachsim, they go down, b'shikula, but they're even. Ke'ilu, be'ilin ishtakach gibor v'takif man de ishtakach. So here we say what? The gibor is a strong man, and we find they're very strong and powerful. Man de ishtakach, not sure. The last one, Kasiv Mina Meitza Karasa Yak. So then we have that phrase, from the narrow place I'm going to call Yud K. Tisha Omer David. So there are 9 things that were stated by David HaMelech. Ad Kol Goyim Sabavune. So there's a piece of Tehillim over there, you got to count them up. The Asachra, the Agona Oloi, that goes around it in some way and it protects it. Now the next one, it says the ha'aras of the Yud Gimel, the Erik Anpin, B'tesha the Zair Anpin. So now it's shining the 13 tikkunim of the beard of Erik Anpin onto the beard of Zair Anpin, onto the 9 of Zair Anpin. V'totze ha'aretz dasha. So we had that phrase, and the Gra gave us an idea about the planting of the beard in Erik Anpin, in Zair Anpin rather, while it was still in the gestation stage. That's what we saw over there. Here we said, V'totze ha'aretz dasha, Esev mazriya zerav, some kind of a plant that produces fruit, or seeds, and the minehu, all of them according to their kinds. Ve'etz oisipri. So this concept, we also heard these words previously too. The tree that makes fruit. So that it's used for planting according to each of its species. Tisha Elin is akro mishma shlim. Now it's, this is, if you have a better translation, let me know if I'm messing this up too bad. So these 9 that we're talking about is akaro mishma shlim. They're also what's is akar, I would think it means uprooted, or they're They're transferred from the complete name, and then they're planted later in a complete, to make a complete name. He said that's a complete name, that's Havaya Elokim, this is Zachav V'Nok, or one side, female and male, or opposites. Tikkunim, the dikna b'tleiser, so the 13 tikkunim of the beard, Ishtakachan are found in that place which is the most high place. Besator also Batisha Aschazion, and you could see the shining of the other 13 onto the 9. Then he says Kaf Beis Asvan. Then there's 22 letters. Is Galifer Begavanehun. So they're all are what is Galifer or carved. I don't know what Begavanehun means. Beinehem, between them. He adds that for us. Moving right along, he says al high. So on this he says Chalma Da'achid Dikna the Bar Nash Ilor Bidei. I'm not sure what that means. Al high man dechazer bechelma, a person that sees something in a dream, he sees a beard in his dream. So he says Dikna devar nash ilor biyadei. He says nusach acher, oh the oshit yadei lay, or that he extends his hands, I think, to the beard. Yindach the shlim b'ma'are. He knows that person who sees a beard in his dream is really one with his master. Shlim b'ma'are. So so those who hate, in other words, the dinim, are humbled. And certainly there are no dinim up there in those lights that are coming from Eric Anpin going downwards. The Ilor Rav Chesed Ikri. The upper part that's shining is called Rav Chesed. That's from Eric Anpin. The zair is just called Chesed, Stam. So the corresponding place in Zair Anpin is just called Chesed. So when it needs to shine, Anhar, it shines, V'ikre Rav Chesed. So some relationship between the two. So we have a Svarm Acherim, he says, I send other ideas. Ha Misrachetz Dahar B'Shlam Im Mare. So it's a praise. He says that that person is equal or one with his master. The Sani Yachnol Techose. So I'm just going to keep going on. Let's go. But B'Chesed Ikri B'Zeira Chesed Stam. So in Chesed, that the Zera, which is their anpin, is just called Chesed. That's it. His Chesed is Chesed. It's not Rav Chesed. So then he says Shefa Chitzonius Olamos. So now what's this about? What's Chitzonius Olamos mean? So this is Russian swarming, a swarming of the nefesh chaya. It's like a Omar, Yak Yudke is Pashat Nehira the da. So he says there's some connection that allows the light from these two to move together. Kula is Rachashim Zim Nechada. So all of them, this is another one, he's still using the word swarming bezim nachada in one time. Mayim tavon, mayim bishin. So then you have good water, you have bad water. Exactly what that means, I don't know. Begin to amar yishritzu, because it says swarm. Iskalulu da b'da, which means that he means to say that it's well, okay, we're back. So he says there are two different kinds of waters. Mayim tavolim, that's Russian tov, I think. Mayim bishan, bad water. Begin the armor yishritzu, because it has a concept of swarming. Now he means swarming means intermingling. Iskalulu da b'zor, that become incorporated one with the next. Chaya Ilor, so there's some life force coming from up above. Chaya Tata, a lower one. Chaya Tava, there's a Chaya that's a life that's good. I'm not sure life force good. The Chaya Bishop. Hard to understand because he's comparing their I'm not sure what he meant by the Kitzonis, so we'll see as it goes along. So he says, Kavanas atfila karoi, the right way to pray, right way to have the proper kavanos. So now he says, Davar acher, Yishrasur hamayim, this is a Russian swarm in the water, is it swarming? Targum Yerachashun, so the word Yerachash, Rachash, says a Kolomer, Kamarchashin bisavsayu, so when your lips start moving, Pisgomitzalusa with, I guess, the prayers of prayer with prayer. This happens in this person's splits and the cleanliness, the purity of his thinking with water. Have a rachish nafsha chaysa. So I don't know what that means. The translation, rachish, swarming, his nefesh is swarming in some way or intermingling. Because boy bar nash l'sadrat solusa damari. So now a person wants to stand and start to pray. I guess here means vibrating, in this way. And it starts at the bottom because that's where we are, at the bottom. And the person is delivered, and the reason why is to bring up your prayers to your master. And where is that going to go? It's going to go to the watering place, the Amiko of the deep, the Amiko de Beira, from the depth of the wellspring, probably Malchus, I'm not sure. Nagi v'naki, if it goes out, it goes in. Well, it's a river. And then, once you do the bottom part, you're starting at the bottom, then it starts to move from the top to the bottom. So in other words, it's mine lukfin and mine duchrin. Where does it come from? That water spout, from the water spout that causes the river to flow. The call darga the darga, and it can flow all the way down to the very bottom. Darga basra the dova the kula me'ela the tata, and he brings this all out to the ultimate bottom. So he calls it Nadova, like it's like a blessing or like a gift, matnas chinam, the kula me'ela the tata, which is coming from the Most High down to the bottom. And then after this, everything needs to be tied together. Kishra the kavona the humanusa. It's the kesher that you have in regards to bringing this, I guess, binding yourself to the spiritual aspect. The avdun kol mashalaychu, and then the avdun kol mashaluhi. So I guess everything that a person needs, I don't know, maybe gets done. Bein sha'alta the tzibura, whether we're talking about the prayers of the group, like bein sha'alta the yechida, for whether you're talking about an individual's prayers. I think that was talking about mine lukvin, mine duchrin. V'sha'alta the is labar nash la sha'ala b'mare. And there's a question that a man has to ask to his master. Hey, Masudona Batisha Gavonin. So now he says that these questions, or the things that you need, I mean your chesronos, go through 9 different places, ways, and he's going to start counting them. Is ba'al ba'beta, by the letters themselves. Is ba'ad mikiluchu l'kuchabaruchu. No real clue what makiluchi means. He said, is ba'ad the adkar, mentioning machiluchi, it means the midos of the kuchabaruchu. Number 3 is rachum v'chanum, merciful. Erika Pine Rav Chesed ve'emes, and he brings out all of the 13 attributes, or these particular ones. Notes, let's see. Erika Pine Rav Chesed ve'emes, notes a Chesed Adolfim, notes a Ava v'feshe v'chatach v'nakei, that one. He says, is b'shmochu yekira dekucha barichu kagon. Then you have also the use of the names. All of these things are tools. And he says, for example, the name Akia, or Yak, or Yaku, or Kale, or Elokim, or Havayim, Tzvako, Shakai, Admi, all of these. Is be'eser spheres kagons, and then you have the 10 spheres, and then you go through Malchus, Yisod, Hod, Netzach, Teferes, Gvorach, Chesed, Bina, Chachman, Kesed, and then also the 10 spheres. This is also a way of transporting from the bottom to the top, as we're talking about from the top to the bottom, is ba'adkar tzedikaya kagon. And then there's also the possibility, he says, of mentioning tzidkus, or tzediki, others. And then, so we mentioned the names of our fathers, or we mentioned the names of the prophets and the malachim. Here's number 6, he says, is b'shirei b'dushbachti, so then also the songs and prayers. There's Bahom Kabbalah and Mitis, but that in there they have the real true Kabbalah. Number 7, he said Ve'ela Minahon, and then there's Ve'ela, this is Russian going up, I think, Minahon. Man the other the second tikkunim the Ma'arech. So I guess it's valuable to find somebody to really pray properly. There is B'yediyah Salka Mitata the Eilach, and then also there's this knowledge of going from the bottom to the top. Number 9, there's a man who knows how to bring I guess we said from the bottom to the top and from the top to the bottom. Or there's an energy, I don't know what he means by man, if he means a person or he means like a saint. But called Tishach Gavni, and all of these 3 different tools are the different ways that we reach Hashem from the bottom to the top. In order to be able to use them, you have to have tremendous kavanah. You don't have that. And this person called Dechsev, and those who make fun of me or put me down, I'm going to make light of them. So that has to be investigated. Over kavanah is amen. So when a person comes to say amen, who called Trin Shmachim Yudke Havaya Adni, because he says that the Amen is a gematria of 91, which is a combination of these 2 names. It's 26 and 65. He says that actually is the concept of the unity between opposites of Zachav and Nok. And one of them is hidden away, its goodness and its brachos in an otzer, which is called a heichel, a palace. For who Ramak b'pasuk, so Ramas b'pasuk, and is referenced in this pasuk, and it says Hashem beheichel kadsho, that Yudke Vavke as a heichel, and he's in that holy heichel. Is that? Haim Mefanim, they're in front of him. And using this, the rabbis say like this, Kol tu va'ada bebeso. I ran out of time? Nope. I think we should have a few more minutes, and we just lost him again. Let's see if he comes back. Okay, I'm back. Just running through this, and I beg your indulgence to try to get some feeling for what the overall look is. There's a reference here from our rabbis, called to the Adib Besa. All the goodness that a person will ever find, it is in his house. Now, I don't know what they're going to make out of that. It's very interesting, because it usually refers to a person's wife. In all of my house, this person is faithful. So he translates to be all those who are with me. So if you take all of these 9 paths, or these 9 tools that a person does, if he uses them, and he uses them properly, Dalhu bar nash the okir the shma demanda the shma kedusha. This is a person who is able to bring glory to the holy name, the shma kedusha, to like that. So he's of all those considered in memory of a pasuk. Kim makabdi, those who give me honor, akabed uvoza yikalu, and that's the other end of that pasuk. He says, and that those who put me down, or I'm always looking for a word of in English for the word bozai like that, or bizayon, shame me, maybe, I don't know. Akabe ba'al b'chabedin, I will honor that person in this world, l'kayim l'ma'avid called sarkoi, and to be able to make sure that he has everything he needs. V'yechezach b'kol alma me'arach b'arei shma l'chavai iskri alei, and that will bring some v'yechezun, called then all of the goyim, call Amana Shema, they will be able to see that this is the name of Yud-Kei Vav Israel that is called on us. In other words, Lashon of mercy and Chesed. And as a result, they become frightened from us. I mean, they will and this person who is doing these 9 things properly, he will find himself in the next world, but bechitzas chasidim in the rooms or the palaces or mechitzas, the walls of chesed, of the other chasidim. The Lord called tzarchei, and even though a person, let's say he doesn't do it the best he can, he does the best he can, but it's not complete. But since he's able, he merits the ashgacha to look out yediyas mare, v'kavin beik, and then, I don't know, somehow he manages to do it all together properly. Okay, just a little bit more. Oh, my Yikolo. What does it mean by Yikolo when he's talking about he's going to make light of people who put him down? Excuse me, Uboza Yikolo. Who is that person? This is a person who doesn't know how to make Yehudim. He said that, so he said the Kanshra, Kishra, the Mamusa, and also the tie together in faith. I think he means here the binding of opposites, which looks like it's impossible. In order to be able to bring everything to the places that they are needed, to bring glory to the name of his master, so that person that doesn't do this is better that he never was created. Certainly a person who's not careful about having kavanas in the word amen, which is actually the word of the yichud, which we said before is 91, is havaya agni. Last one, the marchis bisvasai. So any person who's vibrating or bringing sound out of his mouth, the nikiyus, the libo, with the purity of his heart. The Maya de Menake, this is a water that is able to cleanse. Mandachsiv Bahade was written by this person, V'yom Elokem, this is the Lashon Din, Naasa Adam. So the Lashon is Gvuros, making man. Kolona B'shvil Adam the Yodel Achrod Saleh, so for the sake of the man, the Yodel. La'achda Salim the Murth, to La'achda Salim of the Mus, he's able to bring opposites together to call Yeus. In other words, he make Yehudim, and then go down into the depth of the sea. I'm not sure exactly. That's it for today. We'll finish tomorrow, and with God's help, we'll start looking. Thank you.